in some of your poems, there is a sense of not belonging to this urban city. There is always a need to go back to one's village and feel that you belong to that village. Even some of your stories are about going back to the village, to feel needed, So there is this beautiful poem you have written called My House, which, in which you feel that the house is not really yours, although it's yours.
Although it's there.
So will you read that?
Yeah, sure. The title of the poem is En Veedu. என் வீடு அப்படித்தான் அரசு முத்திரை தாள்களில் எழுதப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. இடப்பக்கமும் வலப்பக்கமும் பின்பக்கமும் இருக்கும் வீடுகளின் சுவர்களால் கட்டி எழுப்பப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என் அறைகளின் வடிவம். மாடி வீட்டுக்காரனின் ஒவ்வொரு அறைகளையும் தாங்கி நிற்கும் என் வீட்டுக்குள் கிராமத்து வீட்டை விற்ற ஏக்கத்தில் செத்துப்போன அம்மாவின் நிழற்படம் நுழைவாசலில் தொங்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. அந்நியன் மொழியில் தமிழரசி என் பெயர். இவை தவிர இது என் வீடு என்பதற்கான எந்த அடையாளமும் என் வீட்டில் இல்லை.
Mimi, in this connection, I wanted to read Mary Sindhudi. And I also wanted to tell us about the trip you made to Sindh.
Yeah.
You spoke to me about that trip. I would like to hear about it.
Sure.
So can you read Mary Sindhudi?
Yeah. Actually, this poem was written in somewhere about 1999 or 2000, before my first visit to Sindh. And the Sindh which I had not seen actually at that time. For me, Sindh was in my dreams, in my Nana's stories only. Title of this poem is मुंहिंजी सिंधड़ी. मेरी सिंधड़ी तुम्हारे पास आना चाहती हूँ. सिंधड़ी मैं तुम्हारे पास आना चाहती हूँ. यह सच है कि तुम्हारी गोद का आनंद मैंने कभी नहीं लिया. यह भी सच है कि 7 बेले के हाथों में हाथ डालकर मैं कभी बतियाई नहीं. यह सच है कि कंवर की लोरी मेरे कानों में कभी नहीं गूंजी. फिर भी तुमसे मिलने को मैं बेचैन हूँ. आखिर तुम्हारे पास ऐसा क्या है जो तुम्हारा जिक्र आने पर पत्थर की आंखों में समुद्र लहराने लगता है. तुम्हें मैंने कभी नहीं देखा, ईश्वर को भी नहीं. शाह सचल सामी मेरे पेन फ्रेंड बन गए हैं. अच्छा बताओ, मैं अगर तुम्हें खत लिखूं, जवाब मिलेगा? तुम जवाब दोगी? मिलने के लिए कहोगी? मैं तुमसे मिलना चाहती हूँ मेरी सिंधड़ी. Thank you. Thank you.
And about your trip to Sindh, you must have.
That was really a very exciting moment for all of us. Suddenly, one day I got a call from Sindhi Academy, which is in Delhi, and they told me that a writers' delegation is invited to Sindh to participate in an international conference on Shah Sachal and Sami, and we would like you to join us. I couldn't believe that. Actually, in that delegation, there were about 12 official persons from Sindhi Academy, chairperson of Sindhi Academy, and there were about 28 writers. I am born in India, and there are so many writers who were born in Sindh who wish to come back, to go back that land, to touch that sand. And I couldn't really believe that I was given that chance. I was told that deliberately we have chosen 3 young writers who are not born in Sindh, but they must visit that place of their elders. When we touched that land of Karachi, we three were so happy. Rashmi Ramani, myself, and Shrikant Sadaf. We were laughing, giggling, meeting all the persons. And the senior writers with us were crying, weeping. They couldn't control themselves. They were in tears and we were laughing. Actually, at that time only, I realized why that land is called motherland. For us, that was just like an Alice in Wonderland or a fairy tale, but for them, that was their dream come true actually. And there was a grand welcome for us. People were waiting for us on both the sides of roads. I have seen that crowd only once on television when our cricket team won the World Cup and there was a long procession on the roads of Mumbai. After partition, actually, that was the first delegation which was officially invited by Sindh Graduates Association. Earlier, they were used to go writers, 2 or 3, in a group of 2 or 3 writers, they were used to go Sindh, but that was the first time when a large number of writers, delegations visited Sindh.
So that's why you were treated like a cricket team.
Yeah. Actually, they were so overwhelmed to see their neighbors, their friends, and their fellow writers. And
they recognize some of the old writers.
Yeah. Actually, I met Sobo Gyanchandani, Ibrahim Joyo, Salim Aga, Taj Joyo. All were there present to welcome us. And there was a surprise for me. Before we landed there, they have given a write-up on all the writers with their native places. And in my name, 2 places were given. One was Hyderabad, my mother's home, and the other was Khudabad, my father's home.
Okay.
That was the village of my father. And a family came to meet me on the airport only. And they told me that you are Khudabad ji Nyani. Nyani means daughter. So Khudabad ji Nyani aaya hai. Means the daughter of Khudabad has come. They accompanied us from the very first day to the last day. And our tour was of 15 days. We were in Karachi for 3 days for that international conference. And then we were taken to take a tour of Sindh actually. So from Karachi to Shikarpur, Ladkana, Hyderabad, Jamshoro, and up to Kinjar Lake. That is very famous for Surat Dry Diach folktale. And then again we came back to Karachi. Yeah.
That must have been an emotional trip.
Yeah, that
Which
was
began
actually.
with a lot of laughing, must
Yeah.
have ended in tears.
That's true. And I cannot forget 2 of those incidents. Once at Bitsha, that is the shrine of Shah Abdul Latif. I was searching for a painting of shrine. But as we reached there very late, the shops were being closed and I could not get one. I asked to many persons, but I couldn't find that. And when I was boarding the bus, there was a huge crowd outside, and very far there was a little boy with that painting in his hands. And he wished to give that painting to me.
How sweet.
I couldn't meet him, but he passed on that painting through many hands, and I got that actually.
What a nice gesture.
Yeah, that was actually. And one more incident is really very touchy. We were in an air-conditioned bus, so there was no scope to open the windows, to greet the people, to touch their hands. All just waved their hands only. And while going through a road, I saw a man wearing Sindhi topi with mirror work, and I just did this one. In Sindhi, we are very used to say this like "Dado sutho." It's very good. I did this, and that man removed her cap to give me. but he couldn't give me as the bus was closed. Again that happened. He passed on that cap to other persons, and that cap reached to me actually.
Just because you said it.
Yeah, so they were so happy to see us. He was not known to me. I was nobody to him, but as I praised him, and he just gave that to me. Actually, yeah, really.
Very touching. But you have gone to Sindh afterwards also.
Yeah.
Not gone to several conferences.
There was a conference on Shah Latif again,
Yeah.
and that is an annual conference. And I presented a paper on Shah Latif's translations done in India. Shah Latif is translated into many languages, and in India he is translated into Hindi, English, and Kutchi Gujarati.
Actually, he has been translated by
Yeah.
Gujarati.
Yeah. So at that time, I get an opportunity to meet fellow women writers there, because we were only 3 at that time, so we had plenty of time to meet each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Malvi, of late, many of the women poets in Tamil have been severely criticized, and of course they have fought against the criticism. What stand did you take during that time when these young poets were criticized? And someone even said that they should be burnt on Mount Road and things like that. What do you think of it?
I totally support our writers in that time. It's nothing doing, nothing. We will write. We will do anything, whether it's right. I started criticizing afterwards one day, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm criticizing, I agree.
Yeah.
Criticizing for some other reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
But initially, when there's all the comments come from the other writers, especially the male dominant writers,
Yes.
I completely support our writers.
In one
This,
essay you have written that when men can write about women's bodies, why can't a woman write about her own body?
own body.
You said
Yeah, that's
that.
what I wrote. So I always support you write anything. Yeah? It's
Yeah.
your body, what you feel, you write. So I support them at that time. Okay, and I want to add this. Why I am criticizing them? The thing is, they started writing about the body. They started writing about I don't have this freedom, I don't have that freedom. But they never touched why it is refused to them. They never touched the rituals. They never touched our religion, what it is.
Yeah.
They never touched that main point, which is irritates to me. Why? You're saying we don't have freedom, and the husband is treating like that many points. Husband is treating like that. We cannot talk about our body. I cannot do this at home. I cannot walk. All the things will come. Up to now, they were doing that, but they never say who is refusing you to give this freedom. They
And
never.
what is refusing?
What is refusing?
You feel that they have not.
They
questioned
never question, they never go into that point. They have to go. Because it's already this social reformers like Periyar and all, they talked about these things. But the female writers, they never touched that. And another thing, if you touch that, they will say, you're talking about politics.
Actually,
that is,
in one of her
Poems, yeah,
she
Karuvare.
has very
Yes,
nicely
yeah.
that gods allow so many things, but Shiva cannot allow a woman with periods.
Parents in his,
I
yeah.
feel that
Yes.
people have touched, but maybe not as directly as
Yes,
you
yeah.
say. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, that's the second point. I am asking my co-writers why we are not talking about that.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that. We have to say the reasons very publicly, openly. That's what my comment on that. Very good.
In many of your poems, you also write about this constant struggle in the marital situation, where a woman allows many things, but how she is constantly, her sensitivity is being questioned, So I would like you to read that poem of yours called Husband's Friends. That's a
Totally,
very
yeah.
beautiful poem.
It's Kanavanin Tholiya. That means my husband's girlfriend. That's the title of the story. கதம்ப மாலையாய் உன் தோள்களில் உன் தோழியரின் புன்னகை. கதம்ப மாலைகள் கசங்காமலேயே அணைக்க நினைக்கிறது என் தோள்கள். கதம்பங்களுடன் கலந்து விட்ட காற்றடித்து உதிர்ந்து போகிறது என் இரவுகள். பெண்ணுரிமை பேசு உன் எழுத்துகள் என் உரிமையை எப்போதும் இருட்டடிப்பே செய்கின்றன. ஏதாவது காரணம் சொல்லி அடிக்கடி சந்திக்க உன் தோழியரின் முகங்கள் அச்சுறுத்தவில்லை என் இரவுகளை. எப்போதோ சந்தித்த என் பள்ளி பிராயத்து நண்பனை இப்போதும் நான் சந்திப்பதாக நீ சந்தேகப்படும் வரை. That's what I wrote in that.
Looking opposite in what is the position of women writers? Actually, I know only women writers. I know you. I know Indra Shabnam. And then, of course, I know Popati. So I know many women writers. But what is the scene, gentle scene? How are women writers seen? I think Popati was also accepted with a lot of criticism, isn't it?
Yeah.
She had to face a lot of criticism because of her very outspoken way of writing. What about you? Have you faced criticism?
Actually, we are very less in number, the women writers.
How many women writers will be there?
Not more than a dozen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually. But what the positive situation is, that as I said, there are hardly young writers in Sindhi. All the senior writers encourage the younger generation.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do actually, and they support a lot. In Sindhi poetry, ghazal is also written. Ghazal, vai, kafi, tarail, rubai, all poetic forms are there. And there is no school for them to learn this. So these senior poets actually support them a lot.
These senior poets are male writers?
Mainly male poets. Because, Popati was there. Tara Mir Chandani is also a good writer. She lives in Pune. Rita Shahani and Sundari Uttam Chandani. They recently actually expired, and they were very good writers of Sindhi. Kala Prakash now lives in Mumbai, and Rashmi Ramani is also a very good poet. She lives in Indore. So hardly there are few names to count,
And
actually.
You keep in touch with one another?
Yeah. There is not much criticism, but what other male poets or male writers feel that what women write that is their autobiography.
Okay.
So that's the one point that makes me angry, because poetry is not an autobiography. A writer is always there, somewhere hidden in every writing. But that question, why they question only the women? Once this happened in a women's conference, a senior poet, during a session, that was not my paper, but then also he told me, I can't go to Vimi's house as she does not like to prepare tea. I asked him, how do you know? He told me that is written in your poem.
He thinks it's wrong.
So whatever I have written, this is my life and this is my autobiography. And what a male poet or male writer writes,
It's not his life.
that is the whole world.
But think about male writing being universal and female writing being local is not universalism. We
That's
just have
true, that's true,
writers
that's
all over
true.
the world,
So
that they say what women write is autobiographical always, and what men write is about your life and about the universe.
that's true.
And that what we write is about ourselves.
Yeah.
That's not a new criticism. That it is still happening in Hindi is not surprising. It's happening in all the languages. And many women writers are
That's
facing it.
Yeah.
You have written a very beautiful poem addressed to the mother.
Yeah.
And about a woman coming after a breakup in a marriage, coming to her mother, And it's about how a woman is treated in the family, because she also talks about her mother lacking dignity and all that. It's a very beautiful poem. Do you think that these kind of issues, what these people think are autobiographical, are brought to the fore only by women writers about how a woman is treated in the family? Isn't it? Do you think other male writers have written about it?
I don't think so,
Yeah,
actually.
Because it's not autobiographical. I feel that it's an issue that only women's writing has raised.
That's true.
In many ways.
Yeah.
So can you read that poem? That's one of my favorites.
Sure. But first, let me tell you all that this poem is not about me and my mother.
Yeah, of course not.
This poem can be of any mother and any daughter, actually.
Yeah, because your mother came into you. Your mother is different.
Yeah. Title of this poem is शलकोसो वाव न लगे धियड़ी, गरम हवा का झोंका भी न छुए बिटिया। माँ, क्या आज भी मैं तुम्हारी बिटिया हूँ? माँ, क्या आज भी तुम मुझसे प्यार करती हो? तुमने तो हमेशा सीने से लगाए रखा था मुझे, हर तकलीफ़ से, हर मुसीबत से बचाया था। बात बात पर साड़ी के दामन में छुपाकर कहती थी, गरम हवा का झोंका भी तुझे न छुए बिटिया। और आज जब मैं भरी दोपहर में रास्ते पर खड़ी हूँ, नंगे पाँव और नंगे सिर, तो क्या तुम्हें मुझ पर दया नहीं आती? तुम मुझे पीठ दिए खड़ी हो, पर मैं जानती हूँ कि तुम्हारी आँखों में मेरे लिए आंसू हैं। माँ, तुमने ही तो सिखाया था मुझे कि अपने स्वाभिमान की बेइज्जती कभी मत सहना। तुम्हारे इन्हीं शब्दों ने मुझे ताकत दी और मैं लांघ आई हर लकीर को, यह विश्वास रखकर कि सारी दुनिया चाहे यहाँ से वहाँ हो जाए, पर तुम हमेशा मेरी माँ रहोगी। तुम इतना कमज़ोर कैसे हो गई माँ? क्या तुम अपने उस बेटे से डरती हो जो अब तक अपने पैरों पर ठीक से खड़ा नहीं हो सका? या उस पति का डर है जिसने कभी तुम्हें मान नहीं दिया और तुम इसी आस पर जीती आई कि कभी तो दिन बदलेंगे? शायद नानी की सिखाई हुई बात भूल नहीं पाई हो कि बिटिया बस चुप रहना, सब सहती रहना, आखिर तो तुम्हारे भी अच्छे दिन आएंगे। माँ, मैं तुम्हारी तरह प्रतीक्षा नहीं कर सकती उस मौसम की जो मैंने अपनी भूगोल की किताब में कभी नहीं पढ़ा, मगर हाँ, मुझ में यह हिम्मत है कि मैं अपने लिए बोए गए कांटों को फूलों में बदल सकूं। न सिर्फ इतना, मैं तुम्हारे दुख के आंसुओं को भी खुशी के आंसुओं में बदल सकती हूँ। माँ, तुम मुझ पर भरोसा तो करो, बस अपने और मेरे बीच खड़ी इन आंसुओं की दीवार को गिरा दो। माँ,
It's really one of my favorites.
Thank you.
This, you read it in Gantok.
Yeah.
Everybody was in tears after you read this.
Thank you.
Madhvi, you have written a poem which is one of my favorites. It talks about the new generation having to do things in new ways and opening things with different methods, It is the poem Lock and Key that I'm talking. Will you read that poem? I think it's a wonderful poem.
I'll read it in English, if you don't.
No, you should read it in Tamil.
Because they don't understand.
Yeah, but it's there, right there for them.
Okay. Pootum Chavayum, that's the title, Lock and Key. That's the title of the poem. எல்லா இடங்களிலும் தேடி பார்த்து விட்டேன், இத்தனை காலமும் பாதுகாத்து வைத்திருந்த சாவி கொத்தை. எந்த பூட்டுக்கு எந்த சாவி? சொல்லவில்லை யாரும், சோதிக்கவில்லை நானும். சாவி கொத்தை இடுப்பில் சொருகிக் கொண்டு இருப்பதே பழகி போனதால் அச்சமாக இருக்கிறது. சாவிகள் இல்லாத இடுப்பை சுமந்து கொண்டு திறந்த வெளியில் எப்போதும் போல எழுந்து நடமாட யார் தந்தார்கள் என்னிடம் இந்த சாவி கொத்தை? எப்போதாவது எந்த பூட்டையாவது என்னிடம் இருந்த எந்த சாவியாவது திறந்திருக்கிறதா? யோசித்து பார்க்கிறேன். அம்மா, அம்மாவின் அம்மா, அவளுக்கு அம்மா, அம்மம்மா, இத்தோடு சேர்ந்து கொண்டது புக்ககம் வந்தபின் மாமியார் கொடுத்த சாவிகளும். ஒவ்வொரு சாவிகளையும் பத்திரமாக வளையத்தில் கோர்த்து அலங்காரமாக விலையுயர்ந்த வெள்ளி சாவி கொத்தில் தொங்கவிட்டு பாதுகாத்து வந்த என் தலைமுறையின் சாவி கொத்து காணவில்லை, தொலைத்து விட்டேன். இனி எதை கொடுப்பேன் என் மகளுக்கும் வரப்போகும் மருமகளுக்கும்? எப்படியும் அவர்கள் கண்டுபிடிக்க வேண்டும். தொலைந்து போன சாவி கொத்தை அல்ல, சாவிகள் இல்லாமல் பூட்டுகளை உடைக்கும் புதிய வித்தைகளை.
New tricks, they must learn new tricks. Maybe your poems also. And I'm talking about the ways you get nature, birds, and the life around it. It's very differently you see it, you know. That is a kind of breaking away, I feel. But you have also written a poem about Vimy being locked up. We don't let any says it.
कविता है विश्वास, मुरकर ए आज़ादी। विश्वास, मुस्कान और आज़ादी। विमी को 7 तालों में बंद कर दिया मैंने, यह सोचकर कि बहुत तंग करती है। फिर जब लगा कि सज़ा गुनाह से अधिक हो गई तो उसे तहखाने से बाहर निकालने के लिए चाबियों का गुच्छा ले आई, पर इतने सारे ताले हैं और चाबियों पर नंबर भी नहीं है। कांपते हाथ सही चाबी और सही ताले का मेल करने में हार जाते हैं। मैं जल्दबाजी में एक के बाद दूसरा ताला तोड़ती जाती हूँ, कहीं तहखाने की घुटन में मर न जाए वह। 7 ताले टूट जाते हैं पर विमी नहीं मिलती। मिलते हैं तो दीवार की दरारों में जज्ब उसके आंसू, मन की तहों से रगड़ खाने से उसका पीला पड़ा गुलाबी रंग, दिमाग की सीखटों को तोड़ भाग निकलने की कोशिश में टूटी उसकी चूड़ियाँ। मगर यह तो मेरा भ्रम है, विमी तो कब की आज़ाद हो चुकी इस कैद से। ये जो निशान दिखते हैं उसके आंसुओं, पीले पड़े गुलाबी रंग और टूटी चूड़ियों के नहीं हैं। ये निशान है उसकी मुस्कान, विश्वास और कुछ कर दिखाने के एहसास के।
When did you find this poem, this poem?
Maybe
Because it is not mentioned in the book. I was wondering when you wrote it.
this
It's
poem
in
was
your present book.
yeah, in that Hindi collection,
Yeah.
not in those Sindhi collections actually.
It's not in the Sindhi
no.
collection. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful poem.
Thank you.
I think that we should end with this knocks the
Positive.
new keys.
Yeah.
Both Madhavi and Vimy.
Thank you.
So much, Madhavi, and thanks so much, Vimy. I think that we should have another conversation at home now.
Yeah.
Vimy is staying with me, so we are going to have a long conversation. I'll come to Navi Mumbai to stay with you, so we can have a long conversation where we won't be interrupted. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Di.
And,
Thank you.
Mimi and Madhavi, we have a small gift for both of you for giving us so much time. Pooja, will you come and give the gift?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Di. Thank you very much.